I'm the admissions counselor from Temple University Japan campus, called TUJ for short. I don't know if you have heard of TUJ before, but TUJ is the international branch campus of Temple University main campus in Philadelphia. Temple is one of the largest public research universities in the US and is the largest school in Philly. And we are branch campus in Tokyo, Japan. We have been in Tokyo for nearly 40 years, and we are the largest and oldest foreign university in Japan. Temple also has another branch campus in Rome, Italy, as you see here. So because we are the same university, it's very easy for students to among 3 campuses. For example, you can start at our Japan campus, then you can spend a few semesters at Rome campus or our main campus in the US, or you can easily transfer back to the US campus anytime to finish a degree. But most of our students graduate in Japan from TUJ. We offer 10 majors in liberal arts field. As you can see here, the list of majors here. The most popular majors are international business studies, communication studies, art, international affairs, just to name a few. And just this year, we just added 2 new minors, which are computer science and information science and technology. At TJ, you can do double major or major minor. And all classes at TJ are in English because we are American school. So you don't need to know any Japanese to apply. But of course, if you're studying Japanese, it's great because, you know, outside of classes, you have to communicate with local people, to go shopping, and even to work part-time too. Yes. So it's always good to be prepared, although that we offer everything in English. Let me know in the chat what kind of major are you looking for. So even if we don't offer the majors that you're looking for, you can always come to TJ for short term, for 1 or 2 semesters. Study abroad is also possible. So I encourage you to, you know, go out of the States, go out of the US to experience another country, another culture, because I guarantee you it's a life-changing experience. Even just 1 semester will change your life, change your perspective. So just more than a year ago, we moved to a brand new campus. We were built on a Japanese university's campus called Showa Women University, but we have our own building. So this is our own building. I'm going to show you some photos. Yeah, so this part is TUJ, and just crossing this street, this small street, students can easily access the Showa Women University, where students can use some of the facilities like cafeteria, library, gym, and swimming pool. Yes, it's much more than this. And we are located in an area called Sangenchaya in Tokyo, which is a 5-minute train right away from Shibuya Station. Shibuya is in the middle of the map here, and TJ is here. For those who don't know, Shibuya is like Times Square, New York. It's the most popular district for young people in Tokyo, and it's the most visited spot for tourists when in Japan. Yeah, so as you see, it's always crowded. Like this is one of the most crowded crossing in the world, zebra crossing in the world. Yeah, so always fun. There's so many things to do there. Now students really enjoy the campus location because after school they can just hop on the train for a few minutes and there they are in Shibuya. Yes, so if you're interested in an urban campus setting, actually you're already in New York, so you know how it is to be in an urban campus setting. So if you're already used to it and you like it, then here we are in the central location of Tokyo. Yes. And I guarantee you there are so many fun things to do in Tokyo and Japan, not just in Shibuya. Yes. And we also offer housing. But housing is not on campus. As you know, also like in New York, it's very hard to find on-campus housing. Our housing is off campus, so students have to commute by public transportation to school. But the public transportation in Tokyo is very efficient, it's very clean and always on time. It takes you anywhere in Tokyo, or like from Tokyo, you can easily use public transportation to go to other cities too. It's very convenient. This is our dorm. The good thing is that you have your own room and own shower, so you have your own privacy. You just need to share kitchen and laundry area. Yes. This is our dorm, and this is homestay. If you really want to, improve your Japanese language skills, to be immersed in the Japanese culture and lifestyle, homestay is a really nice option because you still have your own room, but breakfast and dinners are covered by the host families. Although it's the same amount of money when you stay in dorm. So I guarantee, I always encourage students who study Japanese to choose homestay. Because this was a really nice experience. So why TUJ? Yes, I'm going to give you a few main reasons. So we are located in Tokyo, but the degree and credits you'll be earning with American degree, American credits, exactly the same degree and credits that students in Philadelphia earn. The only difference is that you do it in Tokyo, Japan. And also if you have AP, if you have IB, and if you're taking college credits, those credits can be transferred to TUJ, which helps you to save time, money, and efforts. Yes. We are the only school in Japan accepting transfer credits for those things because we're American school, so you can easily have those credits transferred. And we are just a small campus of about 1,200 students, so very, very small compared to many schools in the US. Like our main campus in Philly, there are 40,000 students, but campus is very small, so it's just a small community where everyone knows each other. Yeah, so the professors will get to know students very well at TUJ. Yeah, they know student by name. And 40% of our students are from the US, 40% from Japan, and the rest are from 6 countries. We also have professors from all over the world having experience in their fields. We also have faculty members from the US, from the main campus in Philly, to come to TUJ to teach on a frequent basis.
I think I hear static, so maybe you might want to adjust your microphone a little bit.
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry about that. Yes. So every semester we'll welcome a number of students from the US, and like many of them graduating from a high school or a 2-year college in the US. And we're very happy to already have Scott, as Sensei mentioned earlier. Scott graduated from LaGuardia Community College, I think in 2019, and he started at TUJ in fall 2019, and now he's taking Japanese language major. So the reason why he chose TUJ was because he said that TUJ allows him to experience Japanese culture and American education at the same time. And Scott will be, I just recommend Scott to our communication department. And if things work well, Scott will be featured on our brochure next year. Yes. So hopefully that I can give you a brochure with Scott in it. Scott's testimonial in it. Yes. So let's talk about tuition fees. So please look at this chart here. It compares TUJ's tuition fee to a public and private universities in the US. As you see, it's about 40 to 50% lower. And it's even cheaper for you to go out of the country than go to the States. And the degree you'll be earning will still American degree. So the question is, why not? It's about $15,000 per year. So it's just tuition fee, but about living costs, I would say another $10,000 to $15,000 per year for living costs. So in total, it would be about $25,000 to $30,000 per year. Yes. But of course, it depends on your lifestyle too. So it can be, the living cost can be less, can be more than that. And since we're American school, so you can use American benefits like financial aid, GI Bill. Scott was able to use GI Bills at TJ. That's because he has the benefits. And you can use private loans. We also offer merit-based scholarships, which are very easy to apply. The biggest one we offer is called Diamond Scholarship. It covers 50% of the first year's tuition fee. And if you do well at TUJ, you can get it renewed at 100% for the rest of the times. If you apply for fall 2022 or summer 2022, the Diamond Scholarship deadline is October 15th this year. Yes, so it's 1 year ahead of enrollment time. So this scholarship is very competitive because it's the biggest one we offer. Besides this, we also offer 2 other scholarships called Dean Scholarship and TJ Scholarship. The information is listed on the screen here. And you may ask, what if I don't get any of this scholarship? Don't worry, because you can always apply for scholarships as continuing students when you enroll at TUJ. So there are many chances for you to apply for scholarships. Yes, and we are located in Tokyo, and as you know, Tokyo is the biggest, is the most developed city in Asia. So there are many opportunities when it comes to part-time jobs, internship, and full-time jobs. Yes. So with many international students choose to take part-time jobs to help finance their education. And with the Japanese student visa, you're allowed to work up to 28 hours per week. Many students, if they have some basic Japanese skills, they can work, for example, like in convenience stores, they can work in clothing stores, or many kinds of part-time jobs. We also have some on-campus jobs for students, and also like many international native English speakers, they can be English teachers as part-time jobs. And talking about jobs, we have the Career Development Office to help students prepare for job hunting, to find jobs in Japan, or even back in the States. Even if you go back to the States, you can use the resources from our Career Development Office from our Temple University main campus in the US, because we're the same school. So wherever you are, you can still use the resources, and they will help you to find jobs. And internship is a distinctive feature of TUJ education. For some majors like business, international affairs, internship is required, and it's often credit-bearing internship. So you do internship at the same time you earn credits for it. You can see the list of companies here that have recruited TUJ students for the internship program. This is Amani. She's a political science major, and she took part in the internship program at the US Embassy in Tokyo. And so she said that this experience was very helpful, and she really liked it because it helps her to advance her career prospect later. Yes. And we also offer career fairs. We invite companies to the campus to recruit TUJ students for full-time jobs. As you can see, also a list of companies here that have come to TUJ to recruit our students. We also have do a joint career fairs with Sophia University in Tokyo, which is specialized in English career fair for students who speak English. But of course, once you're in Japan, just don't rely on this, because we encourage you to study Japanese. And so by the time you graduate, you can speak Japanese fluently, we hope. And with the American degree, and with ability to speak different languages, those are the qualities that employers in Japan are looking for, or even not just in Japan, employers everywhere, if you can speak different languages. Yes. And as a result, our employment rate is 97%. Many international students choose to stay in Japan after graduation because having working experience overseas will be very helpful for your career, especially when you come back to your home countries later. Yes. This is Clio. She's an American student, and she graduated with a communication studies major. And she's now working in Airbnb Tokyo. She's one of the examples of international students who successfully found jobs in Japan after graduation. Yes. But even if the idea of working in Japan is too much, is scary to you, because you may have heard about the working culture in Japan. You may want to go to the States. For example, there's a lot of career opportunities for you. Yes. So this is James. He's also an American student, and he graduated with a Japanese degree, Japanese major degree, and now he's working as a project manager in Bandai Namco in California. Yes. So, but if you don't know, Bandai Namco is a giant Japanese game developer and publisher in Japan. They're very famous for the game Pac-Man. It's very famous. And as you see, no matter where you are, with an American degree, with the international experience of living overseas in Japan, and with the ability to speak different languages, there are many opportunities for you in terms of career. Yes. So next, how to apply to TUJ. So there are 3 semesters per year, fall, spring, and summer. You can apply anytime. First of all, if you apply for fall 2021, the scholarship deadline is March 1st, which already passed, and the final deadline is May 14th, which is coming in a month. Yes, but you can apply anytime, fall, spring, and summer. And this is the list of documents we require. So first, we need your online application form, your personal statement, and your test score. If you're native English speakers, test score is optional for you. We just became test optional from this year because we understand that during the pandemic, not many people can take test score, so you can apply without it. But if you have it, and if you believe that it will support your application, you should submit your score. But if you are non-native English speakers, you will still required to submit an English test score like TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, or Duolingo. If you have SAT or ACT, you can submit that instead. And we also require official transcripts and an application fee. And after you submit everything, the result will be sent to you within 4 weeks. It is very straightforward and very simple. I'll be guiding you through the application process. And since you'll be applying as transfer students, you will be able to get some waivers. In terms of test score, as I said, if you're native English speakers, it's optional for you. But also if you're American citizen of more than 22 years old, or if you have completed at least 15 college level semester credits, it's waived for you. For non-native English speakers, if you have completed English composition with a grade of C or above, its test score is also waived for you. In terms of high school transcript waiver, if you have completed at least 30 college level credits, you don't need to submit your high school transcript when you apply. So my advice for you is that when you apply, please submit your college transcript first so I can confirm the waivers. Yes, so you can save time. Yes. Yes, so that's all about TJ and the admissions application process. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any questions. Or if you don't want, you can just type in chat. I will help you to answer your questions. I also leave our contact information here. There's a QR code which links you to our website, and there's also our social media details. Don't forget to follow us because you can see how it is living and studying in Japan. It's like, and it's run by our students, so you can see it's under the eyes of our students. Yes. So feel free to type in chat or speak up if you have any questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the application for TUJ, is there an application fee?
Yes, as mentioned earlier. Let me go back.
Sorry, I didn't see the slide.
Yeah, sorry, I made it too fast. Yes, so there's an application fee, which is about $98 US. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's look at the chat here to see any question. Is it possible for me to transfer to TJ before I get my associate degree? Yes, you can transfer to TJ before you earning your associate degree. Yes, it's possible. But of course, it's always best to complete your associate degree first before coming to TJ.
There is one question, and I have a follow-up question about the fees. Is there any waiver from the application fees? I thought it was, how much is $150, was it?
It was $98 US, which is like 150,000 yen.
Is there any waiver from it, or there's no.
There's no waivers at the moment, but if we can look into, become affiliated schools, maybe in the future, students can get waivers. Yeah. I will talk to my colleague about how to make a school become affiliated school, because we have a few affiliated schools in the US. For example, in New York, we have Westchester Community College. Yeah.
There's another question about is TUJ highly competitive? So I think the question is about acceptance rate.
Yes, so we don't have a published acceptance rate for our Japan campus. But our main campus, the acceptance rate is about 50%, but it's different at our Japan campus because we have a much smaller school. But we have admissions qualification requirements. For example, if in terms of GPA, the minimum GPA requirement to be eligible to apply is 2.5, but it's just the minimum. If you want to be accepted, it has to be 2.8 at least, and if you want to get scholarships, which the higher the better, 3.7, 3.8. Yeah.
I also can talk about a little bit about the prestige. Their home campus, the Temple University, it's not Harvard, right? It's not like the very top tier university, but definitely one of the best universities in the US. Everybody knows the Temple University, and your diploma has the Temple's name on it. So I'd say it's very prestigious in terms of the value of diploma.
Yes.
And there are a few. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Cynthia, go ahead. So I just want to add more to that. When you graduate, the degree won't even say Japan campus. It would just be Temple degree. So exactly 100% the degree that student in Philly earn. Yeah.
There are a few more questions in the chat about SAT and others.
Yes. So what is the deadline to apply for fall 2021? Yes, so let me go back to that slide too. So the final deadline for fall 2021 is May 14th. If you don't have a Japanese passport or valid visa to stay in Japan, this is the deadline for international students. So May 14th is the deadline, which is one. And please note that this is the deadline of 5 p.m. Japan time. So as you know, US is almost 1 day behind Japan. So please make sure to meet this deadline, so not to miss it.
Can students defer admissions? Because the health situation is kind of not predictable. So if they decide, let's say they apply and accept it, if they decide to go TUJ in the spring or winter, is it possible to defer the admissions to the later time?
Yes, they're allowed to defer up to 3 semesters, so up to a year. Yes. And also because as mentioned earlier, we are doing hybrid, so both online and both in-person classes for students who don't want to to start late. They can start online first, and then when the border is opened, they can fly to Japan to keep studying on the campus. Yeah, but if they're not able to come yet, they can take a few online classes first. What if your SAT score is about 3 years old? SAT score doesn't have an expiry date, so you can apply with your SAT score. But also, as I said earlier, it's optional, so you can either submit it or not. But if you think that your score is strong, you should submit it to strengthen your file.
Am I correct that you don't mind looking at their transcripts? So if they have an official transcript, do you think you can take a look and tell them if they should think submitting SAT or just transcript itself is enough?
Yes, absolutely. That's my job. So that's why if you need advice on your transcript on your test score, you can just send it to me. Then I can give you advice whether, okay, maybe you should take more credits to improve the GPA, for example, or you should apply with your test score, something like that. Just feel free to email me anytime. I will also put email address later in the chat. can one do an internship with the US Embassy with any major or any internships major specific? Of course, like if you know, like US Embassy, like the job itself is more about like diplomatic. So some majors has to be like international affairs or political science or international business studies. So I think it should be, I may be wrong, you can still apply. And of course they still select you, but that's, we can't stop you from applying. But it's just, of course, it makes more sense that if you from a background of international affairs or political science or Asian studies, for example. Yes, but of course, anything, you can apply for anything. And our career development office will help you to apply. How do semester? Sorry.
Semester. Yeah, sorry. You're about to read it. Semester.
How do semesters work? Is it the same as US where they are about 4 months? Yes, exactly the same as US because we're American school. So as you see here, we have 3 semesters per year. Yes. Every semester is about 4 months.
I just wanna, yeah, so it's pretty much the same as the university in US. You know, you have the the dynamics, school dynamics are very similar, not exactly the same in the US, but so it's a great hybrid. Like your life is in Japan, and of course, like when you learn about the Japan because they're gonna use like life examples, your experience as an teaching opportunities. So lots of things are incorporated into your learning, but still the majority of the major framework is still in the US educational system. So that's something I highly recommend because it's not like a huge change for you. It's like one step ahead, right? Like you live in Japan, but you're not going to be disconnected, and everything that you know or you experience, you're still like in the midway between your experience in the US and new experience in Japan.
Yes, and with, as you know, like American education is the best in the world, the top in the world. American degrees are acknowledged everywhere. So with an American degree, so of course when you go back to the States, everyone knows, every employer knows that it's an American university, but not just in the US, everywhere in the world, US degrees are really highly appreciated.
And half students are from Japan. Like I heard that TUJ has a very diverse student body, like half US, half Japan, and then many people from different parts of the world. So
yes, very, very diverse here.
Yeah.
Next question is, how many years can we stay in TUJ for? It depends on the number of credits you can get chance with the TUJ. Yes. So in total, you have to have to complete 123 to 124 credits to graduate from TJ. So if you are already taking college credits there, if you can have like maybe like 50 to 60 credits chance with the TJ, you just need to complete the rest left here at TJ, which is about like 2 years. Yes, but we have 3 semesters per year, so sometimes students take 3 semesters if they want to graduate sooner.
There is a question about the semester at TUJ. So it's kind of short-term study abroad at TUJ.
Yes. Yes, so absolutely you can do a semester at TUJ. You can, if you are enrolled at a 2-year college, and if you want to come to TUJ for a short term, you apply directly to us as a non-degree seeking student. But if you are enrolled at a 4-year college, and if you want to come to TUJ for short term, you need to apply for the study abroad program through our main campus in the US. Yeah, so it's different process of whether you are 2-year or 4-year college students. Yes, but it's possible that you can come. Every semester we welcome a number of students from the US coming to TUJ for short term. Yeah, so you're not the only one.
And I just want to introduce the study abroad program that we encourage everybody to apply. The deadline for this year has already passed, but it's called the Gilliman Scholarship, and it's intended to help you to study overseas, including Japan. If you're interested in short-term study abroad, I encourage you to apply for Nguyen scholarship as well, and it pays up to $5,000. And they have a preference on community college students. I think LaGuardia's acceptance rate is like 60%. So many of us receive, and in the past, quite a few people study in Japan as well. And so let me share in the chat the information. The next question is,
I'm looking to change my major. It is currently international studies. It is very similar to the general study program at TJ in terms of course of classes. How will the credits have already gotten? What will the major change? So I don't know what kind of major are you interested in to change to. But of course, like many courses you are taking right now at LaGuardia, maybe are gen ed courses. So those courses can be transferred to TJ first. And also for the general studies, international studies credits you already have, maybe it can be counted as elective classes at TJ. So
yeah. Again, send your transcript. That's the, I think in general, most of the credits are transferable, except for like quite a few. There are some funky classes we have, like a freshman seminar. Sometimes like there is a question about if they count as a credits or not. But otherwise, most of the credits are like general education classes. So they are willing to accept. But it also depends on, you know, different factors such as your GPA, and also how you took the class and such. So
yes, so you need to apply first to get to know how many credits are transferred to TUJ. Yes.
Oh, you have to apply first. Okay, so that's a good information.
Yeah.
You have to apply first.
Yes. And for the application requirements, do they have to be mailed to the School for America, or can they be submitted online? Yes, so I think you can send your transcript in a digital way, like through a transcript service like Parchment or Transcript Networks or National Student Clearinghouse. I'm not sure what kind of services you use there, but absolutely you can use submitted online. Now, nowadays, everything can be done online, especially for US applicants. Is there any major at TJ that is similar to education major? We don't have an education major for the bachelor degree. We have it for the master degree though. But I would say if you're interested in like Asian studies or political science, I think it's also helpful for education in some way.
Yeah. One challenge about education is usually it comes with a field work requirement. And also license is unique to the state, right? So if you do education program in New York, you have to go along, you have to abide by the New York state policies. But the TUJ, the home campus is located in Pennsylvania, and also their campus is in Japan. So there's no way for them to do the field work. So it's kind of like the most difficult major to do in this kind of like a satellite campus.
I wish to transfer next semester, but I still have one more semester at LaGuardia. Is it possible for me to transfer the TJ to finish my last semester and also stay for my bachelor's? Yes, you can transfer anytime to TJ. Yes.
And then I say stay with us. So it's like
Yeah.
They don't mind. I think you start accepting people as soon as they finish 15 credits, right?
Yeah, anytime, like even like just less than 15 credits, they can apply to transfer anytime.
Right, so TUJ has no problem accepting early transfer students. Our advice is usually like kind of like a finish, like close the loop here, like sort of like finish from the beginning to end, because our curriculum is designed for you to complete the entire process, and the classes you take earlier are designed to be sort of like foundational and easier than toward the end of the your requirements. So you should see kind of like a, one sequence up first, and once you graduate, you kind of like finish everything, and then you can start the new process of the TUJ. So that's my advice, but the TUJ always accept the early transfer students.
Yes, it's true that even that we accept early transfer, but we always encourage students to finish the associate degree first before transferring. But if there are any reasons that you'd like to transfer as soon as possible, yes, we're welcome. I think the last question here is like, does TJ have more degrees than the one listed? Yeah, sorry, we don't have, we are just a small school, so we only offer 10 majors in liberal arts field and 2 new minors, which is related to computer science. But if you don't have majors that you're interested in, you can come here for short term. Yeah, it's possible.
And I don't think, one more question.
Tokyo is one of the most expensive places to live in Japan. How do you say that contributes to student living? Yes, as you of course, like Tokyo is the biggest city in Japan, so it's the most expensive cities to live in Japan. But at the same time, there are more job opportunities in Tokyo, more part-time job opportunities. So that's why, although that is more expensive than other places, but international students still prefer to study in Japan because, in terms of careers, in terms of like, entertainment and everything, they still choose to be in Tokyo. Yes. And actually, sorry, Sensei.
No, sorry, go ahead.
So I would say that, yes, Tokyo is expensive, but I think compared to New York, compared to maybe San Francisco or Los Angeles, I think it's still quite affordable.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Yeah.
These days, I think that Tokyo is quite affordable.
Tokyo is more, yeah, probably you feel more. Like when I,
yes.
I sometimes go back to Japan and then everything is small. Like that's the thing. Like if you get the small coffee, their small coffee is like very, very small. That's the only thing. And except that, like living expenses are probably cheaper in Japan.
Yes. If you have the inflation rate, Japan inflation rate is even 0 or even below 0. So it's called deflation. So the price, like, like 10 years ago, will be still the same, remains quite the same in Japan. So what you heard about Tokyo being the most expensive cities in the world is just in the past. It's no longer the case. Tokyo is no longer the most expensive city in the world. It's still one of the most expensive, but not the most.
You can work up. That's something I wanted to raise to your attention. You can work. It's illegal for an international student in Japan to work part-time and up to
28 hours.
28, which is a lot of hours, and depends on like where you work. If you speak English as a native language, the private English tutor is one of the best jobs that you can find, and people are willing to pay. Again, depends on like your teaching experience and then how you find a good clients. But there are people who are willing to pay for native speakers for private lessons. And
yes, I think students can earn, if as an English teachers, they can earn maybe $12 to $15 per hour. Depends on kind of jobs you get. Next question is the campus okay for English speakers? Yes, we are 100% English speaking campus because we are American school. So if you don't have any Japanese language skills, it's totally fine on campus. But outside the campus, it's always good to know some Japanese because you have to go to do shopping and everything. Is living in a campus okay for English speakers? I'm scared to go to a new country and not speak this language. Yes, of course, it's scary to to go to a totally different country when you don't speak the language. But I think that's the point of studying abroad, of living in a new country, when you step out of your comfort zone to try something new, to learn something different. Once you're in Japan, we have Japanese classes for you to take. And of course, we already have Japanese classes at LaGuardia. So if you're interested, you can always start by taking classes now first. But we encourage you to study Japanese when you are here, to to make your life easier.
There's a question about homestay.
Homestay is an interesting option. Are the usually sites around the campus? It depends on our host families' houses. Some host families are living very close to the campus. Like I have one student this year. He lived just 10 minutes by bicycle from the campus with his host families. And so it depends. We cannot guarantee that it can be close to campus. Is it okay to apply to TJ with no test score? So if you're a native English speakers, you can apply to TJ without test score. But if you are not, you can. We need to see your transcript to see if you have completed English composition or not. Yeah, so I have to see your transcript to advise. So I will just type my email address in here. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me later anytime. So this is my email address. You can send me any questions, your transcript, so I can advise.
Do you think you can share with us the latest brochure? Do you still use like a digital brochure?
Yes, I have. Let me open here.
And there used to be some like a application information package like that. The one has a lots of information like tuition and fees. Do you also have that with you?
Yes, I have the brochure. So I'm going to send the link to our total estimated cost at TJ.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. So I'm going to email all of you. I think people here registered, so I have their email addresses. So I'm gonna send it to them after the session.
This is something for you to look at, especially the cost.
And then also I encourage you to reach out to Scott. He's the one who knows the most about the process. And also he knows about what's happening in Japan too. Yeah.
So if you can reach out to him, it would be best. And actually, like last year, we have a student. I don't know if he's your student, but he's from LaGuardia, and he visited TUJ. And I asked Scott to be on campus to help him, to give him campus tour.
Oh,
yeah, he doesn't mind. He's very helpful. He's great.
Yeah, so we have a good history with TUJ, and then I do think this is one of the interesting options. It's not super expensive. I believe it's a little bit cheaper than going to Temple University in the US, right? Like it's the same school, but somehow the tuition in Japan is slightly cheaper. So it's not outrageous in terms of tuition, and also the experience is great. Like the fact that you can get the US diploma while you're in Japan and then interacting with the people in Japan, it means you get the very unique experience that very few of us have. So if you don't have, so there's that are you going to include everyone? Yes, I'm gonna send the email to everybody with Ha's contact information and the brochure, and then everything like Ha wants to share with us. And if you don't have any other questions, let's thank her because it's 6 a.m. in the morning in Japan.
I'm already up.
And she really woke up early to give us this workshop. So thank you so much, and hope everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Sensei. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And I hope you continue to stay safe and healthy during this time. And I hope